LucidAbstract here with another vid. In this one, we're going to look at Risk of Rain 2 and ask, is it fun? Now first, we're going to ask the normal question, what is Risk of Rain 2? Well, Risk of Rain is a third-person action shooter roguelite. It's single player or co-op, so you can play by yourself or you can play with your friends, or you could join a random group and play with randos, whatever you want. Pug life, you know? So let's jump in and show you some what it is. So when you first go to start the game, you start out with Commando. This is the main basic character you start with, and whichever ones you haven't unlocked will be a silhouette. There's different ways to unlock them per character. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but basically you got to unlock them each in their own way. They all have their own different abilities, like, you know, Commando has double tap, phase round, tactical dive, suppress fire. And as you start playing more and unlocking more, you can unlock more characters with different abilities, different play styles, and you can do things that unlock other abilities they have, where you can play maybe a little different play style. There's 3 different difficulty levels. You have Drizzle, which is like your easy mode, gives you 50% health regeneration, damage reduction 38%, and difficulty scaling of negative 50%. Then you got your Rainstorm, which is your basic way that the game's meant to be played. It even says that this is the way the game is meant to be played. Test your abilities and skills against formidable foes. And then you kind of have Hard Mode, which is Monsoon for hardcore players. Every bend introduces pain and horrors of the planet. You will die. Player health regeneration minus 40%. Difficulty scaling plus 50%. Taking a quick look into the logbook here, you can see that there are a lot of different items that you can get throughout your runs that will give you, different bonuses or stats. And you unlock these as you play through, kind of like the characters. Some require you to do things to unlock them. You'll kind of learn which ones you like, and then you'll know which ones to try and to get on your run. Ukulele is one of my favorite. There's also a good amount of enemies that you can fight that you'll unlock the log for after defeating them. Alright, so that was a quick look at the UI options you get in the menu. I'm going to grab Bandit and we're going to jump in. I'm going to explain the gameplay loop. So you start out each game, you drop in from your pod, get out of your pod, and that's where the round starts. Now, a few things to look at here is up in the top corner, you can see stage 1, level 1, and a timer, and it says easy. The way this gameplay loop works is as you're progressing through the level, and the longer you're alive during the run, the harder it's going to get. So it's going to start out on easy, and I'll run through, and the enemy density will be a bit lower and a little less health, a little easier to kill. Like, it's not going to be too hard when you first get out the gate, right? Stuff's kind of easy to kill. But as time goes on and progresses, that difficulty slider is going to get harder and harder. So by the time you get into the later missions, your difficulty meter is going to be a lot higher than when you start. So depending on how long you take to clear a level will determine how hard it's going to be by the time you get to your next level or whatever. So each time you drop into a level, you'll run around, you'll kill guys. As you kill them, you'll get gold. And as you're running around, you will find chests and stuff on the ground to open, like this, and that's what you use the gold on. So, the cost will go up as you get higher levels. We'll open it up. This is where we're going to get our first perk for this round. A Topaz Brooch. Gain it. Temporary barrier on kill. So this is actually a really good one that I've used on some runs. Every time I kill someone for a short time, I'm going to have a barrier of shield on my health, so it's going to keep me from taking damage as long as I'm killing. And that's pretty much like what you're going to be doing at the start, right? So you get some kills to get some gold, you run around and you try and pick up as many perks as you can get. The whole fun of Risk of Rain runs is the RNG of what you get and how strong you can get, right? So you want to get as crazy OP broken as you can with your run. You want to get stacks of some of the best perks you can get or whatever. Sometimes you might not get the best ones and your run might not be as smooth, and sometimes you get what people refer to as a god run, where you just get all the right perks, your character is just obliterating everything in sight and nothing can stop you, right? So it's not always going to be the same thing in that sense. A lot of the maps will be, you know, the same map or whatever, but the RNG comes in where things are. When you get out of a level, to progress through a level, you will find the teleporter somewhere on the map that is placed randomly each run, so it's not always in the same place. And when you activate that, you will then fight a boss, and that is going to progress you to the next level. But when you go to the next level, all the remaining gold that you have on you goes and dumps into the teleporter. So what you want to do is you always want to go around and get as much perks as you can in the best amount of time that you can. Like, you don't want to take too long, but you don't want to rush it and not get your perks, because that's going to be what allows you to get further and stronger in the game. So I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. I'll run around, get some buffs, and then I'll get to the teleporter and show you what I mean. Alright, time jump forward. This is what the teleporter, the next level, would look like. So when we activate this, it's gonna start up and we have to defend it while it charges up, and when it gets to 100 we can go to the next level. You will have a chance after you beat it to run around and still loot if you need to, or maybe you didn't have enough gold or something and get some from the boss fight, and that gives you the chance to do that. So I'm gonna activate this. You'll see it spawns a boss. Now the boss is random which one you get through, you know, like a loot pool of what bosses you could get, and as you progress more into the game you unlock more of those too. So you defeat the boss, kill the enemies, and then hold off whatever remaining waves till it gets to 100%. The boss will always drop an item after you kill him. If you're with other people, it'll drop the same item, one for each person. So if you are with people, try to only take yours so you can share and make sure everyone gets one. Pretty much you just keep killing things till it goes up. Once this hits 100%, we can move on to the next stage. Speed it up a little bit. Alright, so once it hits 100, I can take the teleporter and go on to the next level. Or I can run around and loot some more. Or in this case, you know, I picked up a lunar coin and I got this portal. So if you get this portal, you can go in there and it's like a secret stage and you can buy stuff with the lunar coins and stuff. I'm not going to show that here because I'll leave that to you, but we're going to go on through the teleporter to the next level. And so then it starts over. So stage 2, it's going to be a different world, different map, different enemies-ish. Like the enemies will get harder. And you'll get, you know, different enemies. Maybe a different boss. But what does happen is you start over from 0 on the gold. And it's kind of like, in a sense, every level is kind of a new round. And you keep all your buffs, so the whole run is still connected through whatever you pick up. But you start over on currency each round. Everything costs more the higher you get up. And this is a shrine. You can sacrifice your health, 50% HP, and it'll give you gold, and then you can use the gold, get your perks. That helps early on, or if you just want the gold, or maybe you got a couple perks that are healing you, and it doesn't even matter if you lose health. You know, they come in handy. So fortunately on this run, I found the teleporter quite quickly. But instead of just going ahead and going to the next level, I'm going to take a little bit of time, get some gold, and explore the level before I go through. And like I said, you have a chance in between that you can kill the boss of the teleporter first and then go loot. But your chances of enemy density being higher, I feel like, is better if you don't kill the boss just yet. So this time we're gonna, start it up. We get Stone Titan this time. And now you got your different enemies, right? That one just stepped on me. The say you just started or whatever, that'll go towards maybe getting unlocking your characters and stuff. And then you can just pick another character, start a new game, and rinse and repeat. And so maybe this time, we'll get better perks, or I'll get like a blink or something that'll like let me get movement away from getting shot and stepped on. Alright, so I pretty much summed up the game loop. Start a level, you kill stuff, get gold, run around, use that gold to open chests to get perks, get to the teleporter, beat the boss, defend the teleporter, go to the next level. Now you do that throughout the levels until you get to the final level, and then you gotta beat the final boss. And if you can beat the game without dying, then you win. If you die, you die. It runs over. So now I'm just gonna kind of rant and go on about the things that I do like about this game, and experiences, and just kind of like kill stuff and let you see what I'm talking about. Some of the things that I think this game did really well, like before I even get into the gameplay, is I want to get into the music. Like the music in this game is done so well that it helps like the immersion. Like it just pulls you in. Like, and it climaxes with your combat, like you're in the middle of a big fight and the music's just like going with you, just vibing, like you feel like, enthralled into that moment. Like the composer did an amazing job. The combat is fun. The combat is very well done. It's not clunky or anything. Sure, you might start out a little slow at the beginning, but once you start picking stuff up, like you can get triple jumps, dash, whatever, heal, super fast kind of running. Like you can get some stuff stacked up that allow you to do some really fun things in this game. And the momentum of it ramps up, like you start out, I get to sit here and talk and have a good time and just chill, but by the time that meter starts getting up, like you gotta be moving, you gotta be focused, you gotta be paying attention and doing your damage in time to kill everything, because it gets hard. It gets pretty crazy. Like once it gets a higher difficulty, like past hard is like, I see you, and once you get past that, it's is the difficulty name. Like it gets crazy. And if you don't get to the boss in time before your like super duper hard difficulty, well then, you're in line for a really good fight. The enemies in this game are actually pretty cool. They're pretty unique. Like right now, I'm not showing you anything crazy, just the little lizard guys and these little guys on the floating orbs, because these are just the first level. These are the little newbie guys. But after I get buffed up and we get into the later levels, like the enemies, mechanics get a little more in depth, and they can do a lot more damage, and they can hurt me a lot easier, and it takes a lot more to kill them. Typical gradual climb in any difficulty of a game. But the mechanics, like it's not exactly dumb AI. Like they actually know what they're doing. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit and show you what I mean on the next level.
Another thing I really love about this game is like when you pick up an item, it actually attaches to your character. Like if you look closely, you can see that whatever it is actually on your character. This is a cool little perk. So I'm gonna try and keep this one short. So I'm gonna get right to the point. Risk of Rain 2. Is it fun? Yes, this game is actually a lot of fun with different variety of play styles. You can play your own way, but the combat is addictive, and it is out of the list of roguelites I've played recently to check out and maybe make bids or review on. This one is way up at the top of the list. One of the best. Definitely worth checking out. If you guys get a chance to play this game, play it. It is fun. And that's going to wrap it up. Let you guys check out some stuff and have a good one. Peace. Like, just listen to that guitar shred. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Have a good day. Play this game.